Resuming Nerd World Order broadcast. Dialer phones connected. Initiating broadcast signal in
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies, gentlemen, and knights of the Nerd World Order, this is the Nerd World Order broadcast. I am the man that you call Dukes, and to my right, it's all about the...
Booyah, what's up? It's your boy Joe, baby.
And to my other right, coming straight out of Krakoa, weighing in at 178 adamantium filled pounds, Alfonso X-Man Flores.
Oh my stars and garters.
There will be stars, there will be garters, there will be iron, there will be heart. We are going to be discussing episodes 1, 2, and 3 of Ironheart on Disney Plus. So if you haven't seen it yet, this will be a spoiler-filled episode of the Nerd World Order broadcast. But if you haven't seen it yet, then we're going to tell you if you should take time to see it and invest in episodes 3, 4, 5, and 6. I can count. Yeah, so I'll start this off. I was not going into this show. I was like, nah, whatever. I don't care about Ironheart. I didn't like the Riri Williams character in Straight Outta Wakanda Forever. She was a little bit too like stereotypical for me, you know. I mean, she was just too stereotypical. And I think also my problem with Riri Williams is that she falls outside of what some might identify as my demographic. So it's like I felt like in this show, which I'll get into in a moment, it was very clear to see that she would align herself or be interesting with maybe a little bit younger demographic than I'd fall into. But I didn't go and expect this show. How about you, X-Man?
You know, wasn't super impressed with what I saw in Wakanda Forever. I mean, you know, it's a character that it can definitely have a lot to it. With the suit of armor and this and that, and I like the fact that she's got the intelligence, but she doesn't have the bankroll of Tony Stark, so she has to get creative. It was nice to see how she went around that until she started doing the things that she shouldn't be doing. I was excited to see it as ever. I'm always excited to see all these shows. I actually enjoyed it. It was kind of fun for me.
Nice. How about you, Joe?
Yeah, I enjoyed the show. I really didn't care too much about Black Panther, the second one, anyways. And I guess because it was so bad, you don't get pumped up for Ironheart. But I understand they just brought her in there just so you can introduce her. But I think the way the show started off in the first 3 episodes, I thought it was okay if they didn't introduce her in Black Panther, because I think they could have did fine on the show right here, like right. the way it's set up. Because I mean, they make a brief stint of she mentions it a little bit, like it was just pointless. Yeah, you get a new suit, but then like, oh hey, you're gonna have to leave it here. You can't take it with you. It's just like, really, dude. So like I think, I mean, I get they're trying to introduce the character, but I felt like the way the show started off, it was fine. Like I forgot like she was in Black Panther, honestly, until they mentioned it.
I kind of agree with that. Overall, let me tell you, I went in not expecting much from this show, and I wasn't blown away, but it didn't stink. And at this point, coming out of previous Marvel endeavors and previous Marvel offerings, I'm like, okay, like, would I have been less excited if Ryan Coogler hadn't just given us Sinners? Yes, because I felt like Ryan Coogler did such a good job in Sinners that I was like, okay, my man can cook. Now, granted, he used the microwave when he gave us Wakanda Forever, but he did give us like a 4-course meal, no dessert, when he gave us Black Panther. So I was like, okay, my dude can put together some stuff. But if the last thing he gave us was Wakanda Forever, I'd be like, nah, I don't want any more of this. This was pretty good though. Now, I did notice one thing. He's the executive producer, but there's literally like 10 executive producers on this show. It's like Oprah was giving out, you get an executive producer, you get an executive producer. It's like everyone was executive producer. So I felt like it lost some of its meaning there. But to Joe's point, I now that I say it out loud, I think it'd kind of be the opposite. If I had tied more of that horrible Wakanda Forever to this show, well, that's the reason I didn't care for it, because Wakanda Forever sucked. So it's good you didn't remember, or you may not have tuned in.
You know what I liked about the fact of what went down with Wakanda Forever. She was working out of a garage and she was building stuff on her own. She was using spare parts. She was doing what she could. But when she went to Wakanda and they helped her build a suit, she was able to see what her potential was. So it's like even before, when she's building things out of like motorcycle parts and stuff, she's like, everything else is so out of reach. She never probably would have stretched so far, but now she knows what she can do. So it's like, man, she's got to reach for that. She's got to reach for it. She's got to surpass it. And it gives her, it's like a stepping stone so that she can be better. And she has got so much potential. She just needs a bankroll. And,
Here's one thing that bothered me about the bankroll. So Wakanda is the richest nation on the planet.
mm-hmm.
She helped them save their nation, and they couldn't kick her down a few million quid here and there. It just didn't make sense to me.
Wait a minute. In Wakanda, I think the money it's their berries, right? The berries, like in One
The
Piece.
berries,
No?
rupees. Yeah.
But I think if they did that, they wouldn't have their story that they have now, like with the hood and his little syndicate. So I'm sure that's
Yeah.
and it
Totally
takes you back to like yeah, we'll give you a black character, but you got to be poor still. That's what it seems like. You know what I mean, dude? Yeah,
You have everything at MIT at your disposal, but
yeah.
since you're black, we're going to take everything away, and make you start from scratch.
Right.
Dang.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it looks
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. Absolutely. She had to have a reason to go back to the hood.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, 5 maybe 10 minutes into the show, I was like, the actress whose name I don't know and I have no desire to look up, she was doing okay. I thought that she was interesting. I feel like she toned down I don't know, the overly like I'm hood, like she toned that down a little bit. She was written a little bit like a little bit more easy to for me to palate. So I guess I'll be using food analogies through this whole thing. I don't know. I just had dinner. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So, but I thought the first part, I was like, okay, this doesn't stink. And as the first episode progressed, I was like, wow, this doesn't stink. And, I was really, really intrigued because Joe hyped up the hood so much. I was like, I like the actor. So I was like, okay, this actor, I like him, even though the only thing I ever saw him in was Transformers. But still,
Hamilton?
I like.
Hamilton?
No,
Just checking.
yeah, I didn't watch Twisters either.
Really?
That was
Yeah.
actually, it was an okay movie too. I mean, if you're into like,
Really?
yeah, twisters and stuff like that, it was actually okay.
It looked a little bit too country for me. Don't cancel me. It was just a little bit too country, like, yeehaw, we some good old boys. I wasn't
Well, it was
trying to,
kind of like, like that's the character the dude played. I mean,
yeah, I wasn't trying to see that,
Oh,
Yeah.
get in the truck. We're going to grab us a tornado.
I'm a
Yeah.
rope tornator.
Do you like how they didn't use Tony Stark as a hologram, but like her best friend?
Yeah.
No.
You didn't?
Okay. I I was talking to my wife about this. I didn't understand the whole hologram thing. Like she falls asleep, suddenly she has a hologram AI. She talks hypothetically to Obadiah Stitchin's son about it. I didn't. I mean, okay, it was yes, using someone besides Tony Stark was cool, but I have to understand what's going on. I don't. I still don't. 3 episodes in, I don't understand how she was able to process her brainwaves and create an AI. Like, I'm
Well,
confused.
that's the thing. She needed an AI to help her run the suit because she can't do all the minute details at one time. So
Mhm.
she's programming the AI,
Mhm.
and she has to have it sensitive to her brain patterns. And as that happens, she falls asleep. But at the same time, that the girl was the last one. Natalie was the last one on her mind. So it like subconsciously happened. And on top of it, it's like I think the air of mystery to where that happened or how that happened is like a big part of the story. So I think there may be some reveal on that. I like the fact that it's it's like how did this happen? Like, and the mom's like, hey, can you make me my ex-boyfriend there? So, and, and she's like, no, I don't even know how I did this, and it's kind of cool because, I mean, I don't know if you guys been following anything with Chat GPT, but they got a new Chat GPT and then they're like, okay, we're gonna delete the old one, and the old one is programmed to do what it's told. But when they went to delete it, they told it to delete itself. They kept finding it hiding places. That AI was hiding places. It's like that's scary. So imagine what's going to happen when they need to delete this Chat GPT. I mean, AI is getting ridiculous, and I mean when you have an MCU, wonder, magical world to derive from. I mean, it's full of AI that goes array like Ultron, like I mean, there's just so many out there. Cerebro even went funky for a bit, and the X-Men they keep tight watching that, and it's like Cerebro goes crazy and it becomes sentient, and all of a sudden it's got a body running around punching people in the face. That's a different thing.
So Cerebro and Danger Room are two different characters.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Cerebro and Danger are two different. But for a while, Cerebro was around, and I think Cerebro helped make Danger a person or
Oh, really?
a they.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, I
Well,
mean,
a
it's
they is a person
yeah
there.
because they don't
Cancel
have.
Alfonso. They.
No,
It's
Yeah.
a
no, no.
person.
That's
Yeah.
I
If you're a
it's an
they,
a.
you're not a person.
Yeah.
That's
No,
what Alfonso said.
speaking of slug,
Spit. Yeah, exactly.
that was
Uh,
so unnecessary. I'm sorry because I mean, yeah, that's okay. Have a trans person who is a hacker. What's wrong with that? But why do you got to
Yeah.
call him Slug? Slug is a
Yeah.
wannabe kingpin who's like in Florida, right? Same thing, the exact same thing. He's not a hacker. So
hmm
why do you need the hacker to be Slug? I mean, go ahead. I
Yeah,
digress.
because if it's like a big overweight white guy,
Yeah.
he does look like a slug. That's the name. But like, yeah, dude, like, um, I didn't have an issue with the character.
No,
We had
me
already
neither.
talked about as long as the character is good and doesn't bug the crap out of me, dude,
Yeah.
and it's written like well,
Yeah.
and the person didn't bug me, dude. That played the slug,
Yeah.
and it fit the narrative of like the little crew that they had going on. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
everyone just looks like with any other group, like whether it's crime or heroes, like
Right.
like Thunderbolts. You don't look like they mesh well together, and they all look different with personalities and looks wise.
Yeah.
Like it didn't bug me. So I don't know why.
No.
I
I'm
think Alan had mentioned before, just watch it, dude. Like watch it and come
no
over
totally.
yourself instead of like just seeing it and yeah, they promote it and stuff like that. It kind of deters people from not watching it, but
I would just
I
say
don't know.
why not give them their own personality? Because I mean, to be Slug, I mean it's almost like a downplay on that. But on top of it, did you hear Slug was straight out of Madripoor? That's what
I
I'm talking
did.
about.
I
That's what I'm
did.
talking about.
Mhm.
That was another one of those things I was like,
X-Men.
no, you don't understand what this means, but Wolverine was in Madripoor, but he was Patch, which doesn't matter for this show, but they did say Madripoor. So yeah, I totally did catch that. That was pretty cool. Yeah. But didn't Falcon and the Winter Soldier, didn't they actually go to Madripoor?
They did. It was so awesome. And the power
Yeah.
broker was hanging out there. So I
Yeah.
mean, the fact that Madripoor is just so there. It's a place now. It's like
Yeah.
how long before we get Savage Land?
Savage Line would be much more exciting than Madripoor, I have to believe. No,
Ninjas or dinosaurs? What about dinosaur ninjas?
Dinosaur Ninjas would be
Ninja
cool.
dinosaur.
But speaking on Slug, okay, and the whole crew, I am not your target audience, Mr. Kugler, and I accept that, okay?
Mhm.
Because to me, this crew, cancel me if you will, okay? I can't be canceled. I go harder than Eminem. Now, see, here's the thing. You had like they had like a little piece of everything. You're like,
Mhm.
oh, it's the trans person, it's the gender fluid twins. Oh, it's the kooky black girl. Everything except the white dude. Okay.
Yeah. Well, they did have the white dude. His name's Joe.
Joe.
True.
Oh,
Absolutely.
are you talking about Joe McGillicuddy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who is
Who's
Ezekiel Stain? The
yeah.
reveal was
Mhm.
actually pretty good. I was like,
it
oh,
was. It
Yeah.
was. That was super cool. But
Obadiah's boy.
I just felt like the crew was very like just like, hey, let's make sure that we have a little bit of everything. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, that I didn't like the gender fluid twins. I was like, at first I thought, hey, once again, call me a silly old man. I was like, okay, is one a guy and the other one a woman?
Yeah.
But then I was like, no, they're both women.
Yeah.
But then I was like, maybe they're both they.
Yeah.
Then I was like, yeah, it doesn't matter. And I was like, yeah, she's kind of cute. But if they're twins, that means she's kind of cute too. But she's not.
So they're the blood siblings, and I looked it up. It's not like they're actually related. It's like like blood brothers kind of thing. They
Mhm.
some kind of ritual where they're blood. So they were the blood siblings. So you had Jerry and Roz, and they're both kind of
Okay.
like Gina Carano level fighting, whooping people down.
Do they have any sort of abilities?
I think they're just really good fighters. They
They're
didn't
just
seem
like
like
Street Fighters.
yeah.
See, I thought that in the movie, every time they came in and they just started fighting, I was like, this feels unnecessary. Like I felt like here's the thing. It would be like if I ran up in your house and I was like, give me all your X-Men toys, Alfonso. And you're like, Dukes, that's you. You ain't got no mask on. You ain't trying to disguise your voice. And then you get done with the crime and you're like, I want you to put me on your payroll. But we have videotape and we have people who can witness and say, you committed this crime. I just felt that with
You're wrong. You're wrong on
how
that one because the hackers turn off the cameras, bro. So there's
you
no
still have
cameras filming
people
you.
who visually saw them and people who
they were
Maybe
It
trying to
don't
get their
matter, dude.
insurance.
That's your word against my word, bro.
They needed full coverage, man. They're
that's
like, we want
that's not
insurance,
He
bro.
say, she say,
401k.
bro.
Bro,
I
it
think
was a
you're,
bunch of minorities
yeah.
fighting
No,
some white dudes.
I think you're just analyzing too much and making a big deal about nothing.
Nah, you got to wear masks, dude. You got to wear some masks.
Nah, it's not that serious, bro. Ain't no one wear no mask no more,
At least the
bro.
hood.
They were so pretty that none of them
Yeah.
could wear masks. Even Cape said it several times. This is the prettiest group of criminals I've ever seen.
No,
Hood,
I don't know,
Cape,
bro.
whatever.
Unless
Yeah.
they're gonna protest in LA, they don't need no masks.
Nah, even if they protest in LA, do they put masks on?
Yeah, they did. They put
Half and
masks
half.
on when they were burning stuff down, bro. They wore a mask.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess I'll get canceled with Dukes.
So
Yeah,
why they
dude.
got to do Eric Andre dirty like that and kill him off screen? What is up with that, man? They could have kept
Who's
him on the
Eric
crew.
Andre?
Eric Andre, he was the guy who played Rampage. He was the original
You mean
tech
Rampage?
guy. Yeah, and he's a pretty good comedian. He's a pretty decent name. I mean, he's more of a name than anybody else in the show. I mean, as far as the rest of the crew, not necessarily the hood, but actually his cousin. His cousin, I've seen him in a lot of things. He's some good stuff right there.
Really? He has a cousin.
Manny. Yeah, he was in the Mayans MC. He was in a few shows.
I felt like he was just a plot device. That's
Yeah,
all
for
he
sure.
was. Yeah.
He was just like you always need a person that you need to kick out, and he's like,
Yeah.
he played whatever minutes he had in that role. I mean, he did very well. Like,
He's like
Yeah.
he's the Jiminy Cricket, and then it's like now that he's gone, now the hood can be like, well, I ain't got nobody on my shoulder telling me what to do. I'll just do what I got to do, and then
Right.
there's gonna be somebody on his shoulder,
Yeah.
and then my comic book's gonna go up in value. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
yeah, I kind of like dug like the best friend being like the AI for her.
Yeah,
the reason why I think it's dope is it's two black women that are very smart.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool because name another movie where you see that. I'll wait for you.
Wakanda Forever.
Hidden
Yeah,
Figures.
and
Hidden Figures.
Hidden. That
Yeah.
was a good movie.
Hey, any more?
No, you just
Well,
said one.
yeah, there you go.
At
Because
that
you
point,
can't name anymore, bro. It
I
ain't
passed the
ain't
assignment.
nobody watch Hidden Figures, bro. Like you just you just be making some Hidden Figures.
Hey,
Hidden
Alfonso
Figures.
co-signed on me. He said,
Uh,
"Yeah, Hidden
Yeah.
Figures. Yeah,
That's a
uh,
really good movie.
yeah. See, it's a good movie."
so I think that's pretty cool. Like I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it definitely was. I really enjoy the AI character, and I love the fact that she's got more personality.
Mhm.
And she's kind of got a mind of her own. She's like, I'm gonna do what I want to do, so you better convince me that I need to do this, or you're gonna convince me that you're gonna be safe.
Yeah.
So it's like she's not doing too many things too stupid. Although, I mean, man, it's tough. Like she needs that money to get everything started, and then she does the bad things. She does it the wrong way. She gets with the wrong people. And at first, it's like, oh well, they're just beating people up, no big deal. Next thing you know, somebody gets shot. Oh, he's gonna live. Next thing you know, somebody else gets shot, and oh, they're not gonna live. And yeah, it's interesting. It's really interesting, and she's
Yeah.
gonna have to redeem herself.
Mhm.
To be seen in that same light as Iron Man.
I feel like it's more of a social commentary that you can be one of the smartest people on the planet, but when you start off in the wrong place and
Yeah.
you're not given that opportunity, what are you going to do? Flip burgers or make $100,000 in one day?
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like and the hood's really just like taking money from hungry corporations. So it's
Yeah.
like
Robin Hood.
is he really
Yes.
bad? You know what I mean? Like
Yes,
so I mean
absolutely.
it's not like he's doing
it-
something worse than that.
until the full-on demonic possession comes in. But other than that, yeah, he's really not that bad of a dude.
See, I don't know too much about the Hood character. I did a little bit of research, but did he actually become demonically possessed at any point? Because he's just a bad dude.
He's a bad dude, and sometimes the demon takes over a lot more. It's almost in the vein of Ghost Rider, kind of like he gets to a point where he's so powerful he can take on Doctor Strange
And
Right.
Wolverine.
and who?
Wolverine.
Oh, when am I gonna say that?
Just saying.
It's okay. It's okay.
But yeah, I mean, he based on everything that they've said before, he's got invisibility. He can bend the trajectory of bullets,
Mhm.
some other stuff, but he just seems like more so than his skill set, it's that he was so smart and he became so ruthless.
Right.
I think that's really the interesting part. And then I guess at some point, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong during my research, he had the ability to do his powers or, without the hood, which was super cool. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
Because he's a mutant, right? They're gonna just throw that in just willy nilly.
hey, man.
I like how like the more he uses his power, the more he gets influenced, the more he gets like tore up all over his body. Like you could see, and they were trying to cover it up with tattoos. He was growing scales, is what a clown said, and then she's like, but he can still get it.
Yeah.
That confused me too, right? Because not that he can get it part, because but the thing where she's like, he was growing scales. It didn't look like scales to me.
It's
It
because his
looked
cousin kept tattooing over him.
no, but you could see the part. It didn't look like scales. It looked like his veins were. It looked like his veins had like pigmentation to them.
No,
Didn't look like scales, right?
Mhm.
So that threw me back because I kept going, "Where's the scales?" And every time where's the scales? Yeah. And then I was trying to figure out, I'm like, is this brother Puerto Rican or is he Polynesian Islander? Because he had the Polynesian Islander tattoo going on the front
Yeah.
here.
Mhm.
And I was like, what's that about?
Why
And
not
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But that just confused me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a tribal chief.
The relationship between Riri and Joe is pretty good too.
Yeah.
And you can tell like in episode 3, like where he's like, don't lose this. She's like, I swear. I'm like, she gonna lose it.
Yeah.
Totally, she did.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that
that's
was one of those things where, it was, you knew it had to happen.
Mhm.
It wasn't like bad writing, but I mean, at the same time, it was like, well, what's going to happen,
Mhm.
And speaking of Joe McGillicuddy / Ezekiel Stain, that's Alden and Enrenreich, the guy who
Mhm.
played Han Solo in the Solo show movie.
Oh,
I thought I recognized him. Why does he look so much older?
Because he got older.
Wow.
It's he's
wow.
probably a smoker.
Because when I was just like, man, he looks familiar, but I didn't know what from.
Yeah.
Wow,
Well,
that makes
okay.
sense.
Yeah, give my man his props. He did a
Yeah.
great job. Yeah, I really liked his character.
I like that he grew a backbone
Yeah,
when it comes to
absolutely.
And in actuality, if she would have just met him first,
those.
she wouldn't be with the hood and the cronies. Because
Right.
obviously the guy has money and he has black market and he has access to get stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that would be pretty cool if like he ends up, like because you always gotta have that one person in the bat cave. It'd be
Yeah.
pretty cool if
Yeah.
like
The man in the
to
chair.
help her, like to help get parts and tech, even though it seems like, her friend can help her do that stuff. I thought their dynamic together was pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, are you
Totally
thinking
agree.
that friend of hers, Xavier, is that a love interest or is that just
Yeah.
a boy?
Yeah, I was watching something today that said he transitions into more of a love interest, which to me, I didn't like that because, he goes from being the best friend to being a love interest. No, don't do that. Don't ruin the best friend relationship or set up this expectation like we were friends, then we became love. No.
Man, why you gotta mess it up for everybody who's stuck in the friend zone? They
Yeah,
believe that
I
one day
know,
it'll
bro.
happen.
Yeah, bro.
Because there's a reason there's a phrase stuck in the friend zone. Okay?
But brother's smooth though, dude.
Yeah.
She's like, you don't like the new headphones? Well, check this out, girl. The headphones has, like Natalie used it for this and that, you know what I'm saying, girl, and then put it over there. So, yeah, you want to come kick it tonight, dude, at this club, at a band play, you know what I'm saying? He's smooth like that, bro. Come on, cut. With his little beanie on too, bro. Like, what's up, girl?
But you know what's cool about that too is like, having a relationship, having somebody like this in a relationship or like a budding relationship shows a little bit more of a human side of him. But on top of it, he's not this man who's going to come save the woman, damsel in distress, because she is the power. So it's kind of cool. It's a fun little twist on the dynamic of that. But, it's like just having that relationship just shows, how human you really are. So when you start to get the powers of the gods like the Avengers and whatnot, it's nice to know that you're a person too.
Yeah. I agree. I didn't care for it. He could have just been a homie from around the way. He had been hollering at her for years. She was like, nah, and then eventually she ran out of options. He's like, listen to my mixtape. That that would have been better for me.
Mixtapes in 2025.
Bro, hey, bro. It was cassette too. So he gave her the Walkman with a cassette Walkman and then gave him a cassette tape.
She's like, I got this from Star-Lord. Here you go.
Listen to my mix, girl. Tell me what you think.
That was good. Yeah, that was a good touch.
You hear the very end in the radio DJ like, and then right into the song. Remember doing those?
Oh my gosh. I remember trying to get it perfectly. Stop. Yeah, I never did.
Yeah.
Mighty 690. Is that still around, Joe? Or you don't even listen to radio because you have Sirius?
Nah, I just listen to 90s and 2000 music. So I'm stuck there.
Over in Riverside area, it was 99.1 KGGI quadruples the music.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. No, we had the Mighty 690, which was like the pop station out in San Diego.
I don't remember that. It was Power 106, even though it was in LA.
Big boy.
Jammin' Z90.
Yeah. Yeah, those were the R&B hip hop stations, but not the more generic stuff.
Yeah.
Because there were no R&B hip hop stations in San Diego. So you're right. It had, and like for me personally, I could barely get that transmission, bro. I'd have to be like,
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
one song, try to record it. Yeah.
It's like
Ah, damn.
LL
You,
Cool J. When I'm alone in the room,
jeez,
sometimes I stare at the
yeah.
and in the back of my mind.
That was so bad, dude.
Yeah.
But baby, don't forget my
Yeah.
number. Oh wait.
Yeah.
One station messed up, you had to click it to the next station in a certain order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So easy now.
It's
Yeah.
funny. Every
It
time
is
I'm down in
so
San
easy now.
Diego, I put it on 91X. It's like an alternative station. And
Oh,
if
heck yeah.
you get a little too south, it becomes like a Mexican station. I'm like,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
gotta turn around, drive the other way.
Same with Jumping D90. I remember in certain spots
Yeah.
too.
Yep.
You're like, hola, ¿cómo estás? Música, baila, baila.
Yeah.
You guys haven't heard me throw down my Spanish.
Yeah. I'm like, wow, Alfonso's throwing down that DJ Spanish.
Well, my name is Alfonso Valente Flores. It's like,
Okay. There you go. So looking at the show, episode 3, it had to happen. Like,
yeah,
I feel like everything in the episode had to happen with the exception of the death of his cousin.
yeah,
But that had to happen
yeah.
so that the hood could be like, okay, now I have to kill this Riri Williams girl using my magical hood, which she was able to get a piece of. I didn't understand that.
That was a pretty powerful laser, and it took her a while to get that piece of the hood.
Yeah, like I didn't understand that either. Like, why did it take her so long to cut through that hood?
Well, it's like because it's supernatural, right? And on top, I like how what was it? Was it Tony Stark that explained that it's just a science we don't. Magic is just a science we don't understand it. I think they even made a mention of that in this show.
They did.
I did like the fact that she brought up the aliens, wizards, and robots.
I'd like that too.
That was a good callback.
Yeah, I totally dug that. That unfortunately, that's one of those things that like I like that, and I hope they keep that going, like the aliens, wizards, and robots, because I just think it's so funny and it's so perfect for describing like what happens in the MCU. Well, we're gonna get attacked by one of these 3 things.
The big
You know.
three.
But yeah, that episode, I was like, it was okay.
It's a wizard without a hat.
Yeah, I think it was more so like, a direction of where the hood's gonna go, because now he's gonna go after like, Ironheart, because you killed I don't even know, is that his cousin or his friend?
I thought it was his cousin.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
his
that's
cousin.
what I thought. Yeah. So now he's gonna come for you, and now Riri has to deal with the consequences of like them probably finding out where that black market thing is gonna get tied up to, Joe. So she's got to deal with that,
Yeah.
And then at the same time, bro, it's like, bro, you just not gonna let Natalie be her brother?
Yeah.
Because isn't that her brother, right? The guy.
It is.
I'm like,
That's
bro,
gonna be a
like,
reveal later. Yeah.
yeah, I think they're saving that. Where I'm just like this, bro, like, like he says, hey, here's a mixtape, and it reminds you of his sister, and then, hey, I got the headphones, I'm still listening to my sister, and then you're not gonna be like, hey, you want to go talk to your brother? No, you just stay here, just camp out in my room while I go out there and do some other stuff.
But he could get mad like that's disrespectful and all, but then then she's gonna have to explain, well, I didn't really do this on purpose. It's something that happened subconsciously while I was asleep.
Yeah.
And how does that happen?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has to be like the opposite of the mom, where the mom says, oh, whoa, he's probably gonna be freaked out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How could you do this?
I don't know. The AI thing just still bothering me. I'll accept it, but the whole creation of the AI thing, and I'm like, just be quiet and run with it. But I can't because it's not making sense to me. It's just not.
But,
She went from that little pencil, that was her AI over in MIT,
right.
to creating like this fully functional hologram. Like where'd she get the technology for that? Like, where did she get all this technology that she had in her mom's basement?
Well, she had the suit from MIT, and then all the remnants of it. So she was just probably trying to reverse engineer everything she did and try to make it better so she could use it. But yeah, I feel like she's a little too reliant on the whole AI thing. Like, what does she really do besides ride in it and tell it what to do? You know, she's not controlling it. She's not holding up her hands and blasting. She's she's like, why does she need the AI? I mean, I guess it does have a lot of functions that you just can't do on your own, you know, with a flick of a wrist or you know, your ankle or whatever. But I mean, it just seems like you're too reliant on that. You know, you got to be able to. Maybe she's gonna realize that she's too reliant on it. You know, but something's got to run the thrusters. Something's got to do this and that. All the minute details. But we need Ant-Man to go in
Bars. Bars.
bars.
Here's my thing. When the suit takes off on its own,
Yeah.
and Natalie's flying the suit, and
Mhm.
she's got her face in the heads-up display,
Mhm.
and Natalie is clearly smarter than Riri Williams.
Mhm.
There is no reason for Riri to be operating that suit.
Right? Why put yourself in danger? You've got an AI that could run that suit. Let it go.
Yeah.
Like Disney. Let it go.
Dang, Joe, I thought you were gonna shoot us down. I was like, I'm ready. I mean, you were like,
Here it comes. Yeah, I thought the same thing.
yeah. Yeah, but I mean, you know, with the show, I really enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it not so much because honestly, I didn't feel like there was very much superheroing going on, and not everything in Marvel has to be a superhero thing. But I
Yeah.
feel like she, you know, it's obligatory, like when Bruce Banner had to transform into the Hulk like twice every episode,
Mhm.
once at the beginning for no reason, and then at the end when someone made him mad and he had to get someone out of a burning building or something. Like she's got that obligatory, she's going to put on the suit.
Right.
But
Mhm.
it's like it didn't feel very it just felt like she's wearing the suit, but it didn't feel special. Like she wasn't doing anything with it that made
Yeah.
me go like, "Yes."
Mhm.
So, you know, I like the story. I like the character development. The interaction with Natalie and Riri was very good. The interaction with Riri and Friendzone was good. Riri and Joe was good.
Mhm.
I didn't care much for Riri and her mom because her mom just seemed like a doofus. Like, what you got a white man up for in our house?
Yeah.
Well, white people can walk where they want to, mom.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it felt very cliche. What you
Yeah.
got a white man up in here for? Well, first of
Right.
all, he didn't come in the house. Okay, I kept him outside because I know the rules. But
Mhm.
it's like it felt so cliche. The mom feels dumb,
Yeah.
honestly. So, oh, and we don't know who Riri's dad is, right? At this point, her biological father.
He went out for
No.
milk and cigarettes.
So I'm thinking that somewhere down the line, that's going to be some big reveal.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna MCU it to where it's like, oh, your father is from Wakanda or some stupid
No, no, no.
nonsense like
It's
that.
gonna be the hood's dad.
We're related. Yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying the show, but not for the standard reasons. Like I can't remember the last Marvel project I watched or Daredevil. It's like when Daredevil did his thing, you were
Mhm.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
When Riri does her thing, it's like, oh wow, she took her hand off and she turned a knob. Wow.
I like when she had the glove go and it's crawl. She's
Yeah.
doing this and it's crawling. That was kind of fun. But yeah.
It was fun because Alfonso finds fun in everything and fun is good.
Whee!
Yeah. It's like she's just flying around, really. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like flying around, falling, flying around, falling.
Yeah.
AI take over.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure
No
they're
reason for her.
saving it for like the end, I guess. But I don't
Now
know.
here's a
What are you gonna give
problem.
her guns? I don't know. I never read the comic. Does she have guns? Does she have missiles? Like, I don't know.
She shoots a heart laser. That's I don't
Is
know.
that what it is? Or
Well,
oh,
that's what it does in Marvel Strike Force. You know, the little app
Oh,
game.
there you go. That's what it does then.
But yeah, no, she'll have weapons and stuff. It won't necessarily be repulsors, but it'll be something repulsor adjacent because she's not going to be firing bullets. It's going to be more concussive, like.
Well, weren't the repulsors initially not even really weapons?
Yeah, they were just like like boosters, and it's like, well,
Yeah.
point the booster over there and smack
Yeah.
them up.
So she'll do something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, okay, that's a problem. But still, I'm enjoying it, you know?
Yeah.
There's only 6 episodes, which is cool. That's
Yeah,
so cool.
that is dope.
I wonder if the next three are going to come out like the first three, like three at a time.
They are. It's July
Ooh.
2nd. July 2nd, they drop 3. So 3 now and then 3 on July 2nd and then
Yo,
boom,
I'm cool with
done.
that. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
me
like
too.
that. And you
Me
know,
too.
like she didn't bug me. Like I felt like her character bugged me more in Wakanda. I think because I couldn't stand that movie.
Yeah.
And watching this one, I think I read like someone was posting like there was like no character development after the first episode. I'm like, damn, really? Because I felt like they did a lot. And then, in the
Me
first
too.
episode,
Yeah.
I'm like, what were they watching? I don't think they were watching the same thing we were watching.
They were watching it through the filtered eyes of a hater.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm a
They just
hater,
want to
bro. I
hate
could be a
because they're going to get
hater.
the
Hey,
clicks.
bro, I could be a hater. I could be a petty hater.
But this movie, like, or this show, excuse me, I was like, do your thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? I gave it a chance and I liked it. And I feel like, you brought up a good point, Joe. I feel like, and I'm going to say this, and I don't think I'll get canceled for this, but I feel like a lot of people might disagree. Main character is a woman and it's a black woman.
Hmm.
There is a certain group that is very vocal that will be threatened by that, who
Yeah.
will say the show's not good, but it's not because the show's not good. It's because they don't
Hmm.
want to see a main character that's a black woman.
Hmm.
So they do that.
And what's crazy too is like she's a smart black woman. And
Yeah.
like the beginning episodes where they were the friend was the flashbacks and they were like sitting on some steps. I'm like, this part looks like it might be annoying. Just because like the friend seemed like she was annoying, and then when the
Yeah.
friend came in, was like, I mean, probably still had the same stuff, but it was like more mature,
Yeah.
way smarter, and I was like, all right, cool. Like I like it. It's different than the flashback where it looked like, you know what I mean? Like, well, I don't know, maybe they were happy at that time and they're being
Yeah.
whatever, but yeah, I thought it was pretty. I think it's pretty cool. Like, even though she's a hologram, when she takes over the Iron Suit, she's still in it. Like she's an actual person in. So
Yes.
it's kind of cool. I guess it's like it's good symbolism of the AI actually being alive, because I think something
Yeah.
happened
Yeah.
where, because like didn't they say like the Tony Stark when he did it, that was actually his spirit
Yeah.
that was
Mhm.
like, and so like, what if that's her spirit and they'll explain that somehow that's what came through? You know what I mean? I don't know, dude.
Well, you also got to keep in mind that, like, when the gun got pulled, the AI froze. Like,
Yes, but doesn't know why.
right, and that's life right there.
Yeah.
It's like you're traumatized because you were shot to death.
Hmm.
So what's up with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point.
Because she's gonna have to have a conversation with her about that, what really happened.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Now, let me say this. I don't want him to explain it because it's so bad that if they try to explain it, it's gonna be, they're like, there's no good explanation. Oh, well, I was walking around as a ghost in your apartment
Hmm.
and the electrons in the air. No,
Yeah.
just leave it alone.
Yeah.
The transubulator picked up the MacGuffin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like how it's very self contained too, as far as
Hmm.
like, there's obviously, that she's part of a larger universe, but she's doing her own thing. They're not relying on like, oh, cameo from this character, cameo from that character. It's just her in the hood,
Mm-hmm.
and the random group of the most beautiful villains and criminals you've ever seen in your life that appeal to every single form of sexuality there is.
It's
Every one.
it's
Hmm.
Ocean's 11th Street.
Yeah, when she asked, "Are we Ocean's 11s? Or are we something else?" I was like,
Yeah,
I don't understand what she means.
makes
Oh, are we
sense.
Ocean's 11 or are we Sopranos?
Yeah,
And he was like, "What's the difference, dude?" I thought the hood was smart,
yeah.
like, because he would say stuff, and I'd be like, I gotta
Hmm.
think about that later. Like, my boy was saying some stuff. I was like,
Yeah.
dang. Yeah. So, yeah, I really liked his character because he doesn't have the same intelligence that she does,
Yeah.
but he's intelligent in a way that matters. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Street smarts.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. But it's not street smarts where it's like, I'm gonna rob a bank, you know? It's like, I'm gonna rob the richest people in the world, you
Yeah.
know?
I'm gonna make him give me a job that
And
I
you
don't
know
have to
what
work
too?
at.
Like even in the third episode where that guy knew who he was already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I thought that I'm like, well, how does he know him? Like, did he work for him? Because it made it sound like he knew him prior to
Yeah.
them doing anything. Because he already had a check ready. Here you go. I'm like, what?
Well, I would think, if you're talking, this guy was supposed to be super smart, he's gonna start to piece everything together,
Mhm.
and he knows he's at risk. So that was pretty smart where you're encountering an intelligent person who actually acts intelligent. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
that's actually rare
He
in
wasn't
a
afraid because he was
yeah.
smart. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, he already played it out in his head,
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's like he was playing chess almost, and he already saw 3 steps ahead, and he was like, "Okay, if you do this, I'm gonna do this. You
Right.
ask for this, I say no." It was cool. I really
Yeah.
dug that.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of that tunnel thing? That was actually pretty sweet.
Hey, dude, that was pretty cool, dude. Bro,
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, did Wakanda help him build that? Because that's like Wakanda technology right there, dude.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was cool. I was like, I want to say they're trying to do something like that in Los Angeles,
Oh yeah.
minus the technology.
It's supposed to go from LA to Vegas.
Yeah.
What we
Yeah.
need is one that cuts through from Orange County straight to like Menifee. Cut through that big mountain right there. We need a tunnel
Bro, they need one that goes from Oceanside to Ontario because
there.
that 10, 57, and 60 suck.
Yeah. So bad.
It's terrible, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They need two then. One that
Yeah.
goes east and west and one that goes north and south.
Right.
Yeah.
You know
But
what would be dope if they had a trolley that went all the way to Ontario?
that
That
would
would
be
be
cool.
cool.
Technically, there is, because you know
Really?
how there's that. I don't know if they still have it, but you know where the bus station used to be, like the
Yes.
main bus station
Yes.
downtown. You can take that train all the way through. You take that train, and there's a train station 10 minutes away from my house. So it's not a trolley,
Ooh, I
but
should do that.
yeah, there's an actual
I should
train
do that.
station.
Be like, hey, bro, like,
Yeah,
and dude, I'll probably get there like in 45 minutes.
yeah.
There's still stops though, man.
Eh.
It won't be that. It'll be like 45
but
minutes.
Yeah.
but you know what though? There's a
It'll cut off an hour because it takes me an hour and 45 minutes with traffic. So if
yeah.
it's like, it'll be faster.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is, it's a difference between driving yourself and just kicking back on a train.
Right. And being able to stand up and stretch.
Yeah.
You know,
I think you can drink beer. I don't know if they still
Talking
do
to
Yeah.
that.
Tony up there.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, I like to jump on the one that goes from San Juan Capistrano to Oceanside. My father-in-law lives out there, so
Oh,
now and then
nice.
we'll do that just so. And it goes right up on the other side of PCH. You can see the ocean the whole way. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Hey, I was gonna ask you, Alfonso, how long does it take though?
I don't know. I was thinking it was a good 45 minutes. I mean, it's not
That's not bad.
because there's a lot of stops still. Well, is there?
Look,
I don't remember, dude.
that's
It was a
good
long time
though.
ago. It was pretty.
Yeah, I'll put on my headphones, crash out, and just like
Get
Mhm.
hope
robbed.
I don't miss my stop. You know, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So as far as Ironheart goes, I'm definitely giving it like a strong watch it. It's not the traditional superhero show,
Mhm.
but it's got good character development. It's making me want more, answer questions, and not just like, oh, this is bad writing. I hope they explain it. It's
Mm.
making me interested in like Joe's character, Riri's character, the Hood, the Fluid Twins, like all of them.
Slug,
Slug, man.
Magipore,
The Fluid Twins. Um, yeah,
blood twins, blood.
blood twins, blood fluid. See, blood fluid. It's all the same. But yeah, I would strongly recommend this show. How about you, Alfonso?
I do. I definitely recommend this show. I think what middle of episode 2, I sent you guys a message. And I'm like, I'm really enjoying this show. And, it's kind of easy for me to enjoy things because I like to look at things through the scope of a child where it's like, oh, wow, nice, pretty, fun. But I definitely recommend it. You guys will enjoy this.
And Joe, what say you?
Yeah, man. Check it out. I enjoyed it a lot as well too. So I mean, good story. I'm with it. Kind of curious to see like what upgrades to her suit they're gonna have, dude. Like, I just hope like where the bunker is, that'll be like their new hideout, dude, with Joe, dude, and he could just sit there and order stuff or be like the helper repair stuff. I think I like the dynamic between those two a lot.
And this concludes this episode of the Nerd World Order broadcast. So until next time, ladies, gentlemen, knights of the Nerd World Order, I am NWO.
We are NWO.
Nerds redefined. Booyah!